It's 4 a.m. and I've had this idea for a video for a while and I'm just gonna do it because like it's my wake up it's my I woke up in a cold sweat and I was like, hey, I should probably like do something. So I did, and this is it. Recipe bad. Recipe bad. Welcome to my TEDx talk. So why are recipes bad? So like not recipes like chemistry recipes, but like food recipes. Like you're gonna go out and you're gonna make yourself like chicken cordon bleu. For one, like what do you really need when you eat? You need protein, uh, protein, fats, nutrition. I'm left-handed using a right-handed mouse, and I'm also dyslexic. But you need protein, you need fats, you need nutrient, you need nutrients. So where do we get those different things? Well, for one, you get protein from wheat. Like if you didn't know, like you get like 4 grams of protein for like every serving of wheat, which is ridiculous. Like you eat like just bread for your entire day. Not only do you get like all the protein that you need, you get all the carbs that you need. Wheat flour, you have like whole grain. Then you get that's like 16 grams of protein just in 400 calories. So if you're on a diet, you just times that by 4. So that's math. Math is 4, 8, 16. So 16,000 calories, and you already have like 16 times 4. What's that? 16 times 4 amount of protein in your diet. Like you don't need like meat in order to survive. You can survive literally just on like wheat. But you do need like a little bit of fats. Like there is fats in wheat as well. Yeah, you have like lipids and you have like you can literally live just on wheat. But also our we like variety. So let's add some variety in there. Let's add some variety into our diet. Bam! You can have rice too, which is the exact same thing as wheat. It's just if you have celiac disease or you're gluten intolerant, bam, you have the rice and you can eat the rice and it's delicious and it's amazing. But wait, there's more. If you don't like rice, bam, there's pasta, which is just eggs and it's also wheat. But you can also have like corn. Just corn. You can also have corn. Bam! You can have corn, which is not wheat, it's not rice, it's not pasta. Well, pasta is wheat, so it doesn't matter. But you can have corn. You can have the big old C, corn, which is like in everything. High fructose corn syrup, that's corn. We eat corn every day. If we eat corn all the time, so you can have corn in your diet. And like you can have many other things. You can have like vegetables. And then we get into the vegetables. Where do I get my nutrients? Not nuts and don't worry about the spelling. But where do I get all my nutrients? Well, for one, like whole wheat, like with the bran and everything. Like it tastes really like cool. I like it. Bam, nutrients. You have like spinach, right? So you eat the spinach and you get the nutrients. Any like leafy greens, like if you want onions or bell peppers or like any type of things that you are like yuck when you're a kid or a grown adult who didn't learn how to get out of that phase, which I applaud your effort. But no, you need to learn how to eat some veggies. Yeah, because like veggies are amazing. You can have all different types of veggies. You go to your veggie, bam, you just go to your veggie food place aisle and you pick out whatever thing that you want that day and you have it, you eat it, and it's delicious. And then you like learn how to cook, and then you're like, okay, so I have all my protein, I have all my fats, all my nutrients, so I can survive. But you find what like things that you like to eat, what ingredients that you like to eat, and then once you have all those ingredients, and then you proportion them out, you're like, I want 2,000 calories a day, kcal, which the calorie system is bonked anyway. So make sure that like you're seeing like if I'm gaining fat by eating 2,000 calories and I'm getting like a pound a day, then you need to like lessen that by like 500 calories. and live off of like 1500. So like make sure that you know what you're eating, like what you're putting into your body, because like sugar is fine for what it is, but it's also terrible for you and in multiple ways. But like this like just straight up refined sugar, bad. If you want refined sugar, then like go get an onion. You want sugar, go get an onion and then cook it down until it's like a mesh of gooiness goodness, because it's amazing and also has like oxidants and other stuff and other fun things in there. But yeah, like you can make things sweet just by cooking them down into their like glucose and fructose, different things. So like you can add sweetness by taking things that taste awful and cooking them down until they taste good. Like carrots taste sweet when you cook them down. It's ridiculous. But yeah, you take like lots of different veggies and wheats, and it's amazing. So you can substitute sugar for just like other things, but also like if you really wanted to, you can add like a tablespoon of sugar into your like 2,000 calories of rice, and it's like amazing. But yeah, so what does any of this have to do with recipes? You take any culture that you like, you take any recipe that you like, and you are like, hey, I want to make Indian food. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to figure out what this dish is and what this dish is and what this dish is, and I'm going to cook them, I'm going to follow a recipe, and I'm going to make them all good and nice. So that's good when you're starting out to like figure out like, how the heck am I supposed to cook like borscht? I don't know how to cook borscht, so I'm gonna figure out how to cook borscht. So you figure out how to cook the borscht, and then you realize, wait, I don't know anything about borscht. Scratch that. Not borscht. Let's do something that I know how to cook. Bam! You're like, I want to know how to make German pancakes. I want to make them wide. I want to make them thick, and I want to make my German pancakes super delicious. So you figure out how to make your German pancakes, which is literally just like eggs, because eggs is in everything, and like wheat, and like and milk, and then you're like, wow, that's delicious. It's amazing. It has all the protein that I need, which comes in the form of eggs and the form of wheat. And you're like, wow, that is delicious, and I love it so much. I also add lemon and then powdered sugar on top, and I make it a dessert, and it's amazing. Sugar's bad. Don't worry about me. Insulin level spikes and fat goes everywhere. But like you make the wide German pancake, and you're like, hey, this is delicious. But what if I want to like experiment? And this is why recipes are bad. Stop listening to the recipes and figure out what this does. Why is it when you add egg and when you add wheat together, you get this? Like, you can scrap the milk. Milk is just for flavor. And to be honest, if you get rid of the milk and just replace it with water, it doesn't taste very different at all. Because like when they say like put a splash of vanilla in there and put a splash of like salt and like butter and like milk and like all this other like cinnamon and all this other stuff, and then you realize like I can't tell the difference if I have the stuff in there or not. And then you realize, oh wait, I can get rid of like 80% of this recipe, just have eggs, just have wheat, and then just have water. Water! The bane of all those existence. You just have all of that, and bam, you have like German pancake base. And then you can start adding flavors that you like. You add the sauce, you add the cinnamon sugar, you add the lemons, and then you realize, wait, what if I don't want it to be sugary? What if I want it to be savory? So instead you add like bell peppers and you add like other things, and then it becomes savory because you don't have milk anymore, which milk is like a sweetener. Fruit is terrible. Fruit is not healthy for you. Fruit is just pure sugar. So you're like, I'm gonna get rid of all the unhealthiness and just have like eggs and wheat and I don't care what the dietitians tell me. I'm gonna live the way that I want, which is without a recipe. So yes, you get rid of a recipe, and then you start figuring out things like, well, what does egg do? Why is it when you have like sweetened condensed milk and like egg, you get flan. You get the tall and you get the skinny flan, and then you have like the sugar on top, which is just like milky goodness. It's amazing. But egg makes it like a gelatinous, makes it like pudding like, and so you figure out like, oh, egg. Like if I want like a kind of like pudding texture, pudding. If I want the pud, then I add the egg, and then you're like, whoa! Like if I do that to anything, so if I have like corn flour and I add egg to it, then I have like a corn pudding. And then you realize like temperature matters, and then you realize like the different ways that you cook it. So if you like scramble the eggs and then you put it in corn flour, then you have like a savory dish instead of like a pudding dish. And then you realize like you can, wow, like everything's opened up to you, and you put things together that were abominations, and then you're like, wait, this tastes delicious. You take the most American thing that I can think of, which is Italian spaghetti, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. But do you know what it's lacking? It's lacking spicy Thai noodles. Usually you just like cram all of the ingredients that are in spicy Thai noodles into the spaghettis, and then you have like an abomination of like American Thai cuisine, which is tastes delicious. You get rid of the tomato-based sauce. You add in my favorite sauce, which is peanut noodle sauce. This stuff is just delicious. It's peanut-y and it has all the nuts and the proteins in it. And then you put it in the spaghettis, and then you caramelize some onions and some bell peppers. And you're like, wow, this tastes amazing. And then you're like, wait, what? So peanut sauce usually goes on noodles. What happens if I instead of the noodles, I put the peanut sauce on rice? And then you're like, wait, but like I need a little bit more like flavor in there. So then you add the egg, the big egg. The big egg into there, and then you make like egg fried peanut noodle sauce, and then you add like your American dishes in there. You add like tomatoes, and then it's amazing and it's delicious. And that's why I think like death to recipes. Figure out what makes those recipes, like figure out like what's the texture, like you have the different things. You have like texture, right? You have the texture. How does it feel on the tongue? And you're like, how does it? And then you're like, well, what does it taste like? And that's also the tongue. But then what does it smell like? You're like, nose, I want to sniff stuff. So you sniff stuff, and you're like, wow, like this smells amazing. Like cloves are amazing different spices. And then you're like, whoa. There's like so many different spices and like sauces. Walk down that sauce aisle, and when you see something that you've never had before, you're like, I've had barbecue sauce, I've had hot sauces, but I've never had like this Japanese thing or curry thing. Grab that sauce, open it up, taste it. If it tastes terrible, don't ever buy it again. I've had several of those where like I really wanted to like the sauce, but it tastes awful. It tastes like dead cat. And then you're like, okay, not that sauce. Experiment. Find different sauces. Put them on weird, crazy, wacky, inflatable arm, inflatable tube man things. And like, just go, bow. It's like, bow. Everything has changed. You have different textures. You have different flavors. And as long as you have your proteins and your fats and your nutrients, as long as you have PFN, then ta-ta for you, because like that's you can just mix and match every ingredient all together and figure out what the different things do for the different things, and figure out what hydrophobic and hydrophilic different like water and oils do, and it's just amazing. Look at different cultures, look like Thailand, look at like just Asia in general, like all of Asia, Malaysia, like Japanese food. Japanese food is amazing. They have like Japanese pancakes. Figure out how to make those. Those are amazing. And then like figure out how to make like an Americanized version of that. And then you can figure out how to like make pasta and make it like Italian dishes, and figure out like all the different things that they have in the recipes, and then murder the recipes, kill them. And then you'll figure out like, wow, Like if I add some bit of Americano and I add like a bit of Italian, I have pizza and then it makes pizza. But then what happens if you add a little bit of Japan in there and then you have like Japanese pizza, which is completely different. And then you have like some Thai like hot sauces and like garlic noodles and it's amazing. And then you have just lots of different things. So that is my TED Talk. Is that recipes limit you, and so after you figure out how to cook and not burn the house down, then you need to figure out what do all these things do together? Like what is the chemical things that they're putting together to make like really crazy stuff? And then so my big thing is like recipes aren't necessarily bad, but they are limiters. So unshackle yourself. Get rid of the ball and chain. That is the recipe. And then slice that open and you'll have an amazing, you'll be able to cook anything. You'll be like, well, what do I have in my little pantry today? And you're like, well, I have this and this and this. So I'll add this thing and this thing and this thing together, and voila, it tastes horrible. So let's scratch that thing, that last ingredient, and then make this thing and this thing, and then like let's go to the store and like get this thing and put it over here, and then you make cordon bleu. So yes, recipes bad. Not when you're beginning, but when you're like when you get into they're a crutch. So get rid of them. And you'll be an amazing cook. And whoever you cook for, they're like, whoa, I've never had these flavors before. And you're like, neither have I. This is an experiment. I'm glad it worked. So that is the end of my TED Talk. Good luck.